Alright, greetings and salutations everyone. It's time once again for the road least traveled, although this one is a little bit different. I tend to work in Splinterskull chain every 3 or 4 lives. I enjoy it. I find it to be really fun, and in some places really challenging depending on my build. So I wanted to start at the very beginning of Tangleroot here, even all the way through like how to get there. I know some people have no idea where to go and how to do so. This is House Fjarlin that we happen to be in. He's way up in the northwest corner, and this Rassel, or however you say his name, I don't know. I'm really bad with names and other words and things. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, my name is Samius, and I would like to welcome you to this playthrough. All right, we talked to Qual over here, or Quail, or whatever his name is, and get a special quest to run and talk to the Splinterskull guy way out in the boonies. And the reason we do that is that gives us the ability to fast teleport back out to the Splinterskull area. So in the event that we decide we want to go back and go to town for some reason, we can do that. The Explorer Zone is actually a pretty easy one to navigate. It's just take a big curve around, really, cross a couple of bridges, and you're good to go. I'll show you the path that I tend to take. It lets me pick up a little bit of experience along the way. Nothing crazy by any stretch of the imagination, but a little bit here or there for me makes a difference. And then, you know me, I can't not pick up collectibles if they're right there. If they're 5 seconds out of the way, sometimes I can have the willpower to let them go. But if they're not, then you gotta go. There's an explorer. There's a named. So we'll have to stop and take care of this business, I guess. Oh my goodness, this guy walking away. There's a little bit of lag going on today. It's not the worst I've ever had by any stretch of the imagination. And it's kind of like a ability... Oh, I missed a collectible, didn't I? Let's fix that. It's not the worst we ever had, but it's kind of like a little bit of an activated ability type situation, or an attack or a spell or whatever. It takes like an extra handful of seconds to kind of trigger sometimes. Yes, I have. What about it? What do you want me to do? Alright, so the other nice perk of talking to that guy is you get a little in reward to sell or crunch or whatever you want to do with it. And then here is Splinterskull. Now, when the adventure resets, the adventure zone resets, depending on how long you've been on the quest, there'll be like 4 guys here. 5 guys. I was thinking it was 5 guys, but you know. The other thing to keep in mind about Splinterskull is you cannot do it on Reaper. They decided that it's one of those quests that if you could do it on Reaper, it would be too easy. Therefore, we don't get it. Okay. My hireling of choice for this particular situation is going to be the Bard, giving me Inspire Courage. And I don't always do this every time, but I'm gonna show you guys, at least here on this first one, some of the nooks and crannies. And because the quest recycles the zone, every once in a while there's a few little changes that go down, but I don't remember exactly when, for example, but eventually instead of there being 1 mushroom down here, there becomes 2 mushrooms down here. Also, is the rune arm on? Doesn't feel like the rune. There we go. Yeah, take all that extra cold damage. Okay, there we go. But anyway, so down that way is a mushroom or 2, depending on where you are in the quest chain. We do not have intelligence to damage yet. We're getting there. We're working on it. So our damage is a hair lower than I would like it to be. Alright, back and around this corner. is another one of those areas where the collectible is at, and sometimes there's optionals back here to get you a chest. I'm probably not going to check them every time because it's just, you know, once I talk to you about it once, I feel like that's probably good enough, but it is something that if you're looking to get maximum amount of experience out of the quest chain, it's something that you could do, for sure. It is good. Speaking of collectibles, here's another one. I really like that one in particular. Tends to, in my opinion, drop like the Silver Flame book, which may not be as useful now as it once was, but there was a time when that thing was the bee's knees. Also have to add another side note here. I am not live streaming this today, which is unusual for me. I usually don't play unless I'm live streaming. But I got up this morning and I had some time. It's way off of my normal schedule, and I didn't want to just like do a random live stream in the middle of a Sunday morning. But I did want to record and I wanted to play, so I'm doing that. But yeah, normally I stream my gameplay at twitch.tv/SamusGarobo, and by not doing that today, it feels really weird not having the live audience to talk to and bounce things off of. But, you know, training videos are training videos. We don't need to have that the entire video chain. It feels weird to me, and I feel like I wanted to mention it. Alright. So this first quest is just kill 20 Hobgoblins. You have a couple of choices. If you play through basically to this point, you will have gotten exactly 19. And then you have to make a choice, right? You can go through one of these end tunnels, or side doors, door there, door over here, and that'll get you the one guy you need to complete, no problem. However, again, you guys know me and my collectible junkiness. If you go straight through, you can pick up your end quest here, your completion, but also you have a couple of other little goodies that you can easily work into your time. First of all, you have a collectible right here, if you like such things. And you also have a locked door with a treasure chest behind it. So, I just did the correct way to do that if you can. Unlock the door, have the hireling unlock the door while you search for traps, or obviously somebody else search for traps. And then you can come in here and it speeds up all that time. If you have to unlock the door, open the door, search for traps, disable the traps, you're adding in an extra, 7 or 8 seconds. Doesn't seem like a lot until you do that every single time, and then it adds up quite a bit, in my opinion. Also, sometimes practicing efficiency in a low-stress situation is good. Alright. Regather our collectible, because apparently we're in there longer than I thought we were. What? Alright. Back in again. So the thing about Splinterskull is I'd actually have to look at the wiki to know for sure. But I believe it's 7 or 9 quests, I believe. Somewhere in that ballpark. It's a pretty significantly long chain. And the reason why it actually kind of matters is that some of the quests do not take very long at all. You know, like, honestly, if we didn't stop and get the collectible that first time through, or those extra collectibles that are kind of out of the way, and we just wanted to shoot the 20 guys in the face, the quest takes, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes, maybe. So it adds up pretty quick when you're trying to do things, but it can be a long chain to do all at once. Hopefully we will proceed relatively quickly here. Get everyone together and chill breath everyone down. I really am enjoying the cold breath and the electric breath on the Dragonborns. Now they have a better understanding of how their ability works. Which, by the way, you want to be standing still if at all possible during that moment that you activate the breath. And then turn side to side to spread the cone out as much as possible, kind of like Scorch and other similar effects. Right here we're going to get the aggro, but we're going to send our hireling in after the lever. Looks like she got it. Essentially, free damage is free. Should probably also put the rune arm feet on our bar. I like the rune arms. I know a lot of people don't like the rune arms, but this is a Samocracy, right? These artificer feats. You hear human voices crying. All right. Here is another thing. If you are trying to get trap bonus in the quests, these side rooms in the left and right area have the additional traps you need. For me, it doesn't really come into play until a little bit later, when we're actually running through the quest, and then depending on my mood, I like to get them. I'll show you what I mean in just a little while here. Another quest or two, I think. She's still back there. We have 2.5 minutes on our bard song. We're making reasonable progress. Alright, this east room does not have a trap in it, just the west room. So our traps so far in this quest that we've encountered are the electric trap in the end room, and then that one trap in the west room there. Again, if you happen to have multiple people, sending somebody off to do breakables and traps and stuff like that are quite strong. Oh, not close enough to click it. Alright, so you have a couple of different places that you can get your last prisoner. I feel like I don't remember if it's the west side or I think it's the west side. You can go down into this middle section and fight some stuff and do that. In fact, you know what? Let's go double check. I realize we're going to be adding some unnecessary time to the clock here, but it's been a little while since I've actually done this way, so yeah, here we go. I'm pretty sure there's a prisoner down here. No, is it the other side? Must be the other side. I'm just running back and forth for no reason. Typically the way that I go is I I would then proceed to the north area where that inn chest is at and whatnot. There's another lever. Must be on that, on this side then. No. Alright, I guess you can't save that guy. I thought you used to be able to save that guy. But I guess you get a chest out of the deal. Must be why. Again, when you do something for 10 plus years, 12 years, whatever, you get in a habit of not 13 years, I guess, actually. You get in a habit of doing a quest a certain way, and sometimes it's hard to break out of it. And you're like, oh yeah, you can do this thing here, can't you?
This is the Warden's room.
Alright, so here's a battered prisoner. And we'll pick up the collectible. Again, you could get the trap if you wanted, and the that chest over there. Also, I should say, when the warden dies, 2 keys pop open, and that's if you wanted to do the break the boxes optional inside those east and west rooms. I mentioned that one side has a trap and one side does not. There's you can break I think 20 or 30 breakables and get a little bit extra experience there. It took a long time, actually. All the extra running back and forth.
The hobgoblins here do not seem hostile.
A little bit nice because we get a repick this Lily Petty. Hush, Samius, you're drunk already. Again, keep in mind that when you enter an explore zone from a quest, if it's been 5 minutes, it will reset. Your collectibles will come back, but so will the danger. Oops. That's foolish. Every 4th or 5th quest here, I want to remember to click that make new bolts button. I know the angle's not very big yet. Soon. Again, remember, if you want to be picking up the maximum collectibles and checking for all the optionals. In fact, I think this one may be the one where there's the optional spider back here. Normally I wouldn't check for, yeah, this one. Normally I wouldn't check for optionals. I would do them in the event that there was somebody else doing the, somebody else was working on the heavy lifting of the quest, and then I could go around and do optionals. Again, not very training video-y, but you know how it goes. Oh yeah. The perks of not being in Reaper. Self-healing. Self-healing is good. I already clicked that collectible, okay. Starting now, we don't have to start pulling the side levers open, or the side doors to open the levers, which is great. Right, and this is where I personally start deciding whether or not I want to get the XP bonus or if I want to just be as quick as possible. Because again, if I want the maximum experience, well, not necessarily maximum, but the maximum speed experience, in my opinion, I start doing the traps. If I just want to get the quest chain over with as quickly as possible, this is where, you know, not stopping at these traps starts to become a real option. Oh, sweet. These can be maximized and empowered. Yeah, I hit that button. I want to be healed. Alright, so this is where we're going to get the first of our new quest objectives. I'll be annoying guy. Here he is. Tactician. Oh, double sweet. Bonus chest. The troop rosters. Be careful, they do drop in like little scrolls like this, so you do have to look down there and actually touch them. I should mention that this room right here is a shrine. I'm thinking if it's the only shrine in the quest. I think it is, actually. You know, I hit the search button. Alright. Trap bonus. You should have heard the beat. We're up to tamper now, so there's an extra 10%. But Samius, that's only 10. There's another one. Another trap we'll pick up here in just a second. 2 more traps, actually. Always a little ambush right around this corner. You know, I actually wonder. I have a Vorpal crossbow here. Don't know if the Vorpalness will actually outdo the 2d6, 1 holy and 1 bludgeoning d6. Possibly. Pretty likely, actually. We should also probably talk just a little bit about one of the reasons I like to do this chain, particularly on the hardcore server, as early as possible. In fact, last go around on the hardcore server, on my character, I ended up getting the 5,000 favor on and my 10 Reaper points, which were my big 2 goals. Actually got these done at level 3. Level 3, I was able to get a group together to do them at level 3. So the reason why I like to do them, also right here, see, 3 traps only gives us 20. So if we didn't go off and do that one on the side, we would be in trouble. And then I'm also going to show you guys a trick here. So we're not going to disable this trap yet. In fact, we're going to hold around this wall. We're going to make all these things mad at us. We're going to dodge back around the corner, and all these traps are going to fire off. This is one of those really great quests where the bad guys do actually take damage from the traps. If I was thinking a little bit further ahead, or I was a little bit better with my web spell, I would have went ahead and cast a web in there, and they probably all would have gotten murdered in there. Alright. I'm going to loot this chest. grab my collectible. Then I'm going to finish the quest, but then I'm going to show you guys one more trick here that's kind of important for this quest. Or can be depending on your abilities. So if your group does not have the ability to disable traps, running through these traps can be quite scary. And in fact, sometimes I would. Oh, here's another. My bad. There's a second shrine here. Here's another one. Used to be really important for that shrine to be there, by the way, because you didn't used to get an auto shrine when you left a quest. Anyway, if you do not have the ability or the desire to run through traps again, say you're on the hardcore server or something like that, and you don't have the access to a trapper, you can come around here. All those extra guys we killed at the end are guys that we would have encountered along the way over here, until you get to this rock face right here. And as you'll notice, if you look at it, you can actually see that it goes up and around. So you can jump on here and keep jumping around, and you can jump up here and around. And as you can tell, now you're the back side of where that fight was at. You don't need a ton of jump to pull that off, again, because it's clearly intended for you to get around like that, to be able to do it. But yeah, it's a pretty easy way to get up there. Also, if you are uncomfortable and say like you're red alert or something, you kill the thing, you finish the quest, this is a really good spot to run around and recall out of. Sometimes the monsters will come down here and throw things at you, but again, it's a pretty good spot to get into and out of the quest. Recall it. Whew.
The hobgoblins here do not seem hostile.
Who is Whisperdoom? Destroy her egg sacs? Deal. I will go kill her unborn babies. Oh, knocked down. It's one of the risks of fighting goblins is they trip you. It's easy to get murdered when you're on your back. Alright, so quest 1, or primary quest, or whatever you want to call it. Destroy 20 egg sacs. It's pretty straightforward. There is an optional where you kill 3 dudes. And we will, I think we'll see about checking that out. This is where I believe you can start getting 2 mushrooms. Back in that west corner back there. It may have also been last quest, but I'm pretty sure it was this quest. Or it is this quest. One of the Whisperdoom daughters, I think, can be back this way. We'll check. Yep. Oh, it's a scary one, too. A Whisperdoom Soul of Cruelty daughter. There you go. If we're going to come all this way, we're going to pick up our collectible as well. You guys know me. Know me too well. Let's see. Sometimes there's a Whisperdoom daughter in this doorway over here. Although I think it's usually a situation where if it's not back where that optional was here, it's in there. I think it's either or. I don't think it's both. If that makes sense. Then we're gonna go pick up our trap bonus. Video is going to be like a million years long anyway, so we might as well grab the experience out of it. Now that we can get the full bonus anyway. Potions to cure light wounds need not apply. Another Whisperdoom's daughter. I'm gonna say there's usually one in this room. You have one other, just even one other person in your party, and one person who can take care of the traps and stuff. It makes a big difference being able to split up. Okay, we're gonna get ready for some action. I'm gonna remember to cast my web spell. We're going to go back around and try to get the Whisperdoom's daughter. Should be back here in this little cubby. Not back here in the little cubby. Alright, she's not back here in this little cubby. She'll be back by the shrine. It's good, we're going that way anyway. We're going to pick up the other two traps for the maximum trap bonus. There's a fresh bag of bolts. Fresh bag of bolts? Pile of bolts? And again, our various trapping stuff. I don't think she's got a second song, but let's... Ooh, she does. Nice, I'll take it. I mean, if we're gonna go all this way, we're gonna pick up the collectibles. I suppose the chest is also fine. Mostly here for the collectibles. Alright, then we're gonna jump down. And up this tunnel that we're facing right now, if you look here, here's the door to the second area, but here's where we went up and around. So in this northwestern corner of the second area is where we're going to find Whisperdoom. And here's where we're going to switch to a... actually, we're going to switch. I was going to say we need to switch rune arms here for a different AoE exploding thing, but we don't need to yet. Sonic Blast. I basically just need to blow up all these eggs. You can kill all the trash. It's fine. Remember at Whisperdoom is she regenerates super fast. She also doesn't seem to take a lot of damage. But see, now we've got her. We had her down more than 100 points of damage, and she just instantly regenerated that. Doing the open the chest with the shield block animation running trick. I don't know if that's so much a trick, but you start an action, then you shield block. It's pretty straightforward.
The hobgoblins here do not seem.
All right. So now we need to start going into the inter fortress, which means now we're basically running through the outside fortress into the inside fortress. This is where people used to really XP farm. And by that I mean it was the place to get that initial jump, no questions asked. It would be really common for people the entire party to stand right here, except for one person with some invisibility clickies or the ability to invis, to run through the quest. Sometimes people would come down here and take out the spiders. But yeah, this thing, when you really know what you're doing, this quest can take, I don't know, like 45 seconds to a minute, maybe. And it would give several thousand experience points per run. I think when they were specifically talking about quests that you wouldn't want to be able to have on Reaper mode, I think this is the one that they were specifically talking about. That being, the case, this hasn't been true in. Excuse me. Hasn't been true in a long, long time. This has not been the XP run in ages. So, I honestly think they could try it. And see how if it becomes the guild renown or the epic favor run or whatever, the big favor run that it, not favor, sorry, I keep saying favor, and I mean Reaper experience run that they were afraid it was going to be, but I honestly don't think it would be. Also, I don't know if I ever finished my thought before. I'm pretty good at getting scatterbrained, especially when I'm a little bit sleepy in the morning. But I mentioned the reason why I like to do this quest or this quest chain so early, and even did it on the hardcore server at level 3, is the House P favor. You can get pretty much that first tier of House P favor to unlock the ability to get your buffs. I think it's the first tier. Basically by doing this chain on Elite. Which, if you do not have ship buffs and other things going on, it can be quite strong. Access to jump, resistances. I think they even have a blur effect. Only a scratch. Get wrecked, son.
An arrow is drawn in the dust on the floor.
Broke my web. How dare they? You can see the difference here, though, for not having these quests on Reaper and the amount of experience kind of coming through on my bar. We started with no bubbles showing. And we've done, I'm not even sure how many quests now. Feels like 1,000. And we've almost got a second rank out of the deal, so we've almost gained 2 ranks. That's the difference between being able to do a quest on Reaper for the XP bonus and not. Even getting the trap bonus, I'm assuming some percentage of the time we're getting some amount of bonus experience from monsters killed. But we just have not gained that much experience, especially not for the time. I realize we've been in a training video mode as opposed to maximum XP per minute mode, but still we're coming up on the 42-minute mark, and we've gotten 1 rank out of the deal. I'll try to open the trap again. If we're looking for XP per minute, though, we'd have to... We could definitely overlook all this side stuff. Definitely could. In fact, should. Alright, all these extra dogs that hates us. Let's see, we've picked up our key. By the way, that's why we went up into this northeastern cavern, was to pick up the key. Let's just open this door. I can just charge through here bravely. So this quest had a couple of different ways it used to be handled. Used to get people that would love to sneak through this quest, and it's still pretty doable. I don't so much do that anymore personally. I don't actually stealth through pretty much any of the quests that I used to. The great thing about if you can either sneak through or rush through is there's a not killing things bonus, and sometimes that bonus is worth the headache for the lack of time. You know, if you shave the, say you take a quest that would normally be 3 minutes and make it 1 minute, and you don't have to kill anything, then that 7% XP bonus works out. If you don't have a ranged weapon inside this chest, like most quests, they've hidden a bow and arrows for you to be able to unlock this. Alright, here's the guy we're going to talk to, but we're going to do that. We're going to show off all the things. We're going to show off the things. So, this is an optional that I feel like has tended to become, well, shouldn't say has tended to become, has become something that you just don't do very often. Not only is it heavily trapped, I guess it's just that one trap box, but also it just doesn't give out the experience points that it used to at one time. 14 experience points. Like, that's crazy. So what we're doing is we're unlocking this flesh render down there, and that force field, and these guys are all fighting for days. We can go in there and loot a chest now. What the heck, we will. What else are we doing with our day, right? We've created the perfect distraction. Now we can just Now we can talk to this guy and leave. So if you imagine the like a little bit of crowd control stuff, and again, this is less than 1,000 experience points for this quest. If you imagine like a couple of web spells here and there, or maybe somebody holding aggro, you can imagine how you can knock that quest out in just a few seconds for that 1,000 experience points. Grab that extra 7% bonus for not killing anything and call it a day. You might even get a whole 1,000 experience that way. I don't think so, but maybe. Be sure to resummon your hireling so they do not get timed out inside the quest. And you have to resummon them.
You have found the mark of Splinterskull. The shouts of hobgoblins echo from within.
Very well. Sing the song of your people on me, please. Alright, so this is another just move through the quest scenario. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to treat this one more like I would have done the previous quest. The difference is that this quest is actually significantly less experience than the previous run-through quest. And I don't have invisibility, but still the lesson should be the same. I like to stand to the side. We're going to have to kill monsters, unfortunately, because I don't have invisibilities. Anyway, opening doors break invisibility. If you stand to the side, you can open the door and then re-invis, and then the monsters will not have had the opportunity to have a line of sight to you. Something is damaged in my strength. Must be spider venom. Or these guys cast poison on me, one of the two. Alright, so unfortunately I was unable to kind of move through here the way that would have back in the day. Again, back in the day I would have had invisibility clickies on me at all times because they were the most important items. But you stand here, you invis, you run through. None of these things would have seen you. Unless there's a champ, obviously. But since it's not on Reaper mode, the Reapers don't automatically sense you. You don't have to worry about it that much.
Destroy them.
I've personally always found if you kind of zigzag, you don't get hit by these things as much. And I immediately get tripped. But you could see potentially how if I was invisible, we could have ran through that quest a whole lot faster. And had basically one invisibility for every door we opened. I hope you guys can imagine that anyway. Secret door right there, and a trap if you wanted to try to get the trap bonus. Which, in this case, will not make any difference because there's no traps on this side for us to deal with.
Magical field in the room beyond is no more. The flesh render that was bound
But in the last quest there is, so we'll stop and do that. Alright, while I'm running through here, I'm going to open up my friend DDO Puzzles, my friend Grimm's DDO Puzzles app. I probably could remember these, or I could probably have put them in my bio, or have a cheat sheet that I copied on my bio all the time, or whatever. But instead, I just have an app that I can use whenever I need it. So, nope, not Seosisks. Tangleroot, Rune Wheels, purple is Ghost. Then if I remember right, the rest of them are 4. Like, whichever the first one is, that's 1. Is 1 turn, and then the rest are like 4 turns. But I don't know that for a fact, so we'll just look together. Again, you can find her app pretty much anywhere if you just look for DDO Puzzles. Alright, red is gun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a shrine. And if you don't have the DDO Puzzles app, or you don't want to pull them off the wiki or whatever, here's the key.
Hieroglyphs around it hint at the way through.
Alright, so hats. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little bit not ridiculous, but a little bit I don't know what the word is I want to look for here, but there's a lot of these patterns in DDO where it's like turn one rune, or turn the rune wheel 1 time on 1 wheel, and then the rest of them all 4. Like, that's really common. In my experience. You guys may or may not find that to be very true, but I do for sure. Alright, thank you very much, Grim, for making it where I don't have to stop and look up things. Appreciate that. Well, making it easier for me to stop and look things up. Man, I have not done this next part in ages. But this guy drops a key and a book and a 1 potion of water breathing. Wow, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this. So you'll see there's a find a way to the Elemental's cave. That's run all the way back to the beginning of the quest. Hashtag running. If I remember correctly, it's not even very much experience. I really think if they do anything, they should work on the experience bonuses for the optionals in these things. Make some set XP bonuses. Ready? Time to turn on our bubble head. Alright, so we're back to the beginning. I believe you can pick this lock. No, it cannot be picked. But just showing up here is 186 experience points. And then swim through here. So the first handful of times I did this optional, way back, and I mean way back, Tobrel and I pulled Sunblades. So then we were convinced forevermore, basically, that this optional drops Sunblades. Of course, that's incorrect. What can I say? It's like the first couple of times we did this quest, or this optional, it was like that. Watch us pull a Sunblade now. That'd be great. No, no Sunblade. Oh, excuse me. Was this optional? Like another 700 experience? It was. Wow. 750 experience. So that was almost another 1,000 experience. I guess it's very nearly worth it. Alright, technically 2 more quests to go. Really, we just need 1 more. We're coming up on the 1 hour mark, and I think we'll get done pretty close to then. Now, keep in mind that this is an extremely long run of this quest chain. I want to let you guys know that this is a long doing the running through teaching version here. Taking the time to have the chick cast Bard song on us. It's not strictly necessary. If I had intelligence to damage right now, I wouldn't even consider it, but the spider princes here are some of the strongest monsters in the quest. I want to knock out what I can. Oh, double crit. The more of these run-through quests that you end up having, the less experience they are. So that first one was like, what, 6,000 or something, 7,000. The second one was 4,000. This one looks like we'll be lucky if we can get 3,000 out of the deal. So I'm not gonna stop and go crazy here for getting all the bonuses. That, and if I can finish this, I'm not going to finish the quest in an hour, alas. I'm going to say, if I could finish this video up in 1 hour, that'd be great. But it looks like we're going to go just a little over an hour.
Your party has reached the inner stronghold. You hear hobgoblin voices beyond the stronghold door. Guards must be ready for you.
Alright. Kind of shooting our way through everything. Did our target get shot? Is that what happens? Our snowball swarm failed. Again, we're going to go ahead and pick up this trap over here. It's not strictly necessary for the trap bonus, maximum track bonus, but it does make things a little bit easier. Together. Orders.
This door
Order does matter.
unbarred. Key, it should
And if you're this lever doesn't do anything. Nothing pertinent anyway. Order matters in the event that you think you're going to want a shrine. And what I mean by that is there are 2 locked doors right here. One of them, if you clear out, you can open the door and access the shrine. I'm pretty sure it's that guy. Nope, I was wrong. So you want to do this side first, the west side first. If you think you're going to want to shrine. If you feel like you don't have to worry about shrining, clearly I did not this go through. Then it doesn't really matter which order you do the guys in. Pick up the key, pick up the thing, pick up the other thing. Alright, this is where we're gonna talk about some stuff, and then we're gonna do some stuff, and then we'll come back and do some other things. Clear as mud, right? So right here, if you don't have a trapper, is where you want to jump along. You want to hug this wall and you want to jump along. Alright, then you just have to deal with the blades. And then, if you don't have a trapper, you're going to want to duck in here to the door basically as quick as you can. If you do that, you will basically avoid all the traps. See how I ran through there? In and out. Alright, if you go through a different direction. Come here, hireling. If you go through here in a different way, she's not going to access that door. So we'll just have to search the traps out. You will notice that this trap also contains blades that shoot out. And these will activate basically any place except for along this wall. Okay? Once somebody crosses out here and activates these traps, that traps are activated for everybody. But if everybody runs on this side of the map or this side of the quest hallway, there we go, then you'll be able to avoid it all. Pretty simple. Now, got a couple of choices here. You'll notice that we're at 3 traps down, 20% XP bonus. If you want to get your maximum XP bonus for traps, the order for this doesn't matter nearly as much. But you come in here, you loot this chest, traps will activate. Now that traps are activated, you can search the traps out, the trap boxes out. Don't know why, it's just the way it works. There'll be one here. There'll be one here in the middle. Oh, sorry, here. Always stand here to search it out. And then we're good. And you'll notice there's where we're at our 5. So we can now move in. However, I'm going to show you guys one more trap bonus to pick up the, I think the big perception bonus. I think we can get one more. No, it just turns to 3. But there's one more trap right here. And I have found, for whatever reason, people tend to avoid this trap. So it's generally easier to grab that trap at the beginning. If you do not have a trapper, this is 3 big spinny blades. What I would do is I would do them the exact same way after I finish the quest chain, and I would jump over here and then finish out after getting this chest. Hope that makes sense. I like being in this little cubby, then it forces everybody to come down into my AoE zone. It lets me pick up my collectible. Then guy drops a key, which lets us loot this last chest up here. So again, if you don't have a trapper, pick up the chest after. I did not pick this up. I thought I did. Oh, maybe I just couldn't click it. It was blocked or something. Pick up the chest, or pick up the treasure chest after you defeat this guy. If you do have a trapper, get the trap bonus. Didn't cost that much extra. And you get that perception bonus too. Alright. Now it's time for the moment of triumph. Let's talk about my reward.
Their chief beckons you closer.
Personally, I feel like a lot of this stuff is good, but no. Boop-a-doo. No Death Ward clicky. That's the most popular one, obviously, is the Flesh Render Goggles that gives you the Death Ward clicky. Again, I personally don't care that much, but whatever. I do like this Summon Monster clicky. I find it to be good. Sometimes you want the ability to do that. This cloak with 2 slots on it can be good. Say like you want to make a water breathing, underwater, feather falling, underwater action belt with a pretty, or not belt, but swappable for low level stuff. This one's a fine one to do that. Let's see. There's a pair of hand wraps that come out of here that are like human bane. They're pretty good. But I actually really like this ring. Nullification 42 and Devotion 42 and a colorless slot. It's actually quite strong, especially for like the new alchemist type stuff if you're doing the healing negative energy build, which is a build that I enjoy. I'm just going to take Heroic Deeds though. Alright, lastly, I'm going to pick up my collectible here. I'm going to get on my horse. My high horse. I'm going to ride. Oh, I forgot about this. You can't have your rune arm automatically charge on your horse. So anyway, we're going to ride back through here. There's another flowering plant. If you're really a collectible nut, you'll pick that plant up every time too, but whatever. Here's a explorer, and then this bridge is an explorer. And then we just slide down. Whee! Slide down and finish out. There you go. That's Splinterskull, 1 hour and 7 minutes, which again feels like 30 minutes longer than it should be. But, you know, you guys will figure it out. Questions, comments, etc., please leave them in the down below, I guess. I was going to say in the boxes below, but I don't know if they're boxes. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you guys soon. Toodles.